quite nice. It does generally make our opinion be a little more favored towards Team Spirit, apart from right now, because the draft definitely seems to favor Chimera in this case. Let's see how things will play out in game number 1 of the series via the PogChamp Pandas.
Nukes, you don't have to combo them anymore. Like, there's no combos of Avatos. That's out of the game. Individually, they do more damage, so you can still, like, combo to some extent. Now it just means basically you use them as stuns, which, again, I think favors Carry Tiny. So Carry Tiny got a lot of buffs. It was getting picked a bit last patch or on last TI.
It was, yep.
And I think it's just better now. So I really like the Tiny, and I think it's also a good match with Terrorblade.
To Chimera. We'll start the game with 3 of the 4 bounty runes. Team Spirit, though, looking for that first blood. And they should find it. Here's Dahak. Oh, unless... Oh, my goodness,
no way.
Okay. They end up actually getting the kill first. Radan falls. First blood for 1J. Maybe at least Team Spirit can pick up a second kill.
Deliver the courier.
They can. So they'll get 2 kills back their way, Team Spirit. First blood and 3 of the 4 bounty runes. We'll go to Chimera. I thought Radan was going to get it first.
There's no... that was crazy that he went down. Also, I think he could have lived to be special delivering the boots. I still want to see
the Marcy, yeah.
I still want to see the Marcys use that a little more. It's just it's such a weird change and a weird new ability. Yeah, wow. Did they just miss uphill? I think they missed uphill.
I think they did right when they were trying to kill him.
Yeah.
Because it looked like, yeah, must have been some misses coming into play there, but there you have it. So first blood for Chimera. A couple of kills, though, for Team Spirit. Yep, coming to the lanes.
It's still really big for the offlane Chimera, because it gave 1J full boots.
Yeah.
And so basically versus Enchantress, the best thing you can do is pick up Pulse Wave that's pretty fast with boots, and you can pull the wave. Enchantress never does anything to you. So the fact she gets these boots instantly means that it's super epic for Chimera in this lane.
1J is able to get behind the tower, snipe the courier of Miposhka, and get the creeps pulled.
You basically just get to play this really annoying lane, as long as the Hog doesn't die here.
He should be fine. He's got a skill point to spend, pops into the surge, gets away. How's the top lane looking? I mean, we've got, once again, a collapse on the Terrorblade, something that Team Spirit really like to do here on the off lane. Is this a pretty good lane for him?
Yeah, this is a good Terrorblade lane. I think also you're just going to have a really good time versus Tiny. Tiny hates getting right-click spam like this, and I think Moritz is one of the better fours at kind of just hitting the enemy carry. Also, there's physical damage from Reflection. So this should be a Team Spirit victory in this lane. I think eventually, maybe when TA 2000's level like 3, level 4, it's going to be more of a farming race between him and Collapse. But yeah, definitely the first few waves favor Spirit.
And obviously, we're going to see some impact, of course, with the... right now. That's a good fear.
Nice silence.
Silenced as well. Tier 2000 trying to bring down Rue with him. Won't get it as Tier 2000 falls. And the Collapse and Rue turn towards Panto. Panto will survive as he's back under the tower. But yeah, this looks to be a good start for Collapse here on this offlane Terrorblade. I mean, on the other side of things, Panto, so with this Glacial Guard facet, this could have some impact this game.
Yeah, I feel like I haven't seen it that much use. I think that's what everyone's going for. The other one kind of makes the mana cost too awkward. It ends up feeling... I haven't seen me like, wow, that guy's alive purely because of the shield. I think it has a good mid-game timing, though, when I think a lot of the Crystal Mains are going for Solar Crest. Just another barrier that basically gets added.
Oh, Tier 2 has a good avalanche there for both of them. I mean, they're sitting pretty low on Team Spirit. Now, know that they can get away with it for the most part. They're shot off the mark. Panto, he's just standing his ground against Collapse. Is he going to win this trade?
No, he doesn't win this trade.
Maybe he does. He gets him. He gets the job done there, Panto. I mean, they both felt they had that there. They both end up dead. Obviously, more to the benefit of Chimera as they're able to take down Collapse on the offlane. Bottom lane, 1J and Dahak. They get the jump in on towards Miposhka.
Okay.
Getting the kills on both side lanes now.
Good for Chimera. I think they definitely want to win their sides because, again, they want to speed the game up. Their whole draft is about these early mid-game fighting. Not necessarily in the lanes. It's okay if the lanes go even, but if you win your lanes, you get the speed up the game faster and faster. And then the last game, or the last lane we haven't talked about is Storm Shaker mid. Again, I think this is a very even mid-lane matchup. Both sides are going to farm. Both sides are going to win at different phases, so if one person wins mid, that's a surprising thing. If anything, it's kind of a boring lane until I would say Shaker gets close to 6, because that's where there's some Echo Slam kill threat. Post again.
So they can get the setup. exposed into the rebound. Body blocks as well from Dahak. And Pochka, the heals are enough to save him.
Good to even force out the heal. Have 20 more seconds. If they go on even Radon, he might just die. 1J is a jump. 7 seconds.
Is this just proving at the moment to be the top Darkseer combo to have in your lane? Darkseer plus Marcy, that's always the plus one you want at the moment.
Yeah, I think so. Because you get 2 heroes with Iron Shield on top of the enemy instantly.
Yep.
There's like no downtime in the stun. You also have a secondary kind of stun with a pullback. I don't think there's another support that is as good. Everything else is basically you give the 4 Iron Shield, you kind of 1v2s. Like a Clockwork was an old example of Bounty. This is the best one that actually allows Darkseer into the fight. Collapse top. He's doing a great job.
Yeah, getting a lot of denies here. 18 and 4, 15 against the 14 and 8. So definitely the lane where the struggle is the biggest. And
maybe a brew to be close enough to silence. It's like there's way more layers to it. Right now, Enchantress and Earthshaker probably just kill him. That's 2. Top lane.
2000 dead. Collapse. Getting the chance to continue to bully the Tiny here on the top lane.
They picked it into Terrible? Or no, the Terrible was picked into it, right? I believe.
Yeah, because we were Tiny first pick.
Yeah. The Terrible response. It's working out. I think they knew that the Tiny was going to go carry. Just because that's like the flavor of the month is Tiny carry. So I like this matchup. It gets bad if the Tiny's ahead, I would say, just because you have so many stuns that you can't get the Sunder off. But in the laning stage, you're high armor, high physical damage, just overall a good hero versus Tiny. And he's not maxing his nukes too. He's maxing his physical damage spell, which again, Terrablade's good versus.
1J. Just up playing around with Pochka. Dahak's here as well. Damage the Iron Shells. It's a lot too much for the heals to keep him alive. Lar comes in with a rotation though. Walks up, drops the Echo, one of the 2 of them. Should be able to stop Dahak getting away as well. So good response there from Lar. Comes around with the rotation and make sure they get the 2 kills.
Big TP. Just securing even Radon a little extra space because right there, Dahak finished his Vanguard, so that's like his big early game timing, and he goes down.
At the same time, they're trying to get the setup on towards Collapse top. Chimera come back into the game. They should have him here. They've got the control. He hits his 6. I said that though he's going to go for the TP. They've got nothing else to stop it. They didn't save anything for the interrupt. And off the back of that, Collapse an easy TP home.
That's massive. So they TP away 1J from bot, meaning now Dahak kind of has to solo. Sure, he's a Vanguard, but being alone means you have 0 pressure on the Sven. So now bot lane has no pressure. Terrorblade gets to TP back base, walk back into lane because you're also kind of shoving the lane for Chimera when you do that. Yeah, that's a huge win for Spirit. Just everyone on the map get killed bot, survive top. Definitely a big advantage. Now Poch goes top, and they're looking at TA 2000.
They're going to try and get Radon here with the wall. They've dropped the wall down, they've got his illusion against him, and with Panto joining forces with 1J and Dahak, they'll get the kill. Same time top though, a reflection of the play.
Yep, exactly the move by both teams. Works out for both teams, and I think both towers just... Bot lane probably won't go down, but top will definitely go down.
Now, who's it going to hurt for more in the long run? A Tiny getting bullied or a Sven getting bullied in the early game?
Probably Tiny. Again, so the fact that Spirit's ahead at this point, and if they continue to be ahead, the game state favors them. Just because they need to get past this, I would say, early mid-game hump of Chimera. Usually with Darkseer drafts, it's like level 7 Darkseer timing for the next like 15 minutes. The Iron Shell is too strong to fight. And you get the first couple aura items, whether it's the Halberd or the mechs, the pipes. And even like Storm Tiny is a similar timing, whereas Sven Terrible just keeps scaling with items continuously throughout the whole game. And so if Spirit's able to just skip that point of being behind and not be able to fight Chimera, the whole game state will favor them. Because Chimera kind of needs to be ahead for now.
You can see Chimera very much were looking to try and find further kills there. They do have the 4 of them on this bottom side of the map. They're looking towards Lal in the mid. They're going to try for the setup. Lal's got backup. It's not easy really to go for this kill under the tower, and yeah, Panto knows it can't dive any further. They can't go for anything here.
It's scary to go no Straker. You go a bit too deep, you get Echo Slammed under tower, you're just dead, so back up. I was thinking interesting enough, so Dahak is not going for Halberd.
And that's, yeah, indeed, because pretty much all the Dark Seers, or most of the offlaners right now,
going Halberd.
They will rush that up, indeed, first.
Especially with the Vanguard being bought. So he bought basically just a casual Vanguard.
Okay.
Which, we haven't seen this in a while. The Vanguard itself wasn't changed. The Vanguard's been the exact same, just the Halberd, the recipe out of the Vanguard. So it's interesting to see basically he's going for this when I don't think it was, you know, common.
See around the mid. Have to be a bit careful. You know, Spirit, they have got the Blink Dagger now. Lol. No Echo, of course. Still cool down. He's going to get jumped. Got the wall drop down as well. Lol. He's going to try and escape this, but Lorinov should have enough mana to take him down. So Lol turns up, shows off the Blink. He ends up being the one dying. Chimera with that, they can get some pressure onto this mid tier 1.
Yeah, they even brought TA 2000, so probably tower will go down just to right clicks. And it's a bit close, so Lorinov actually outclicked him, got the shield rune. Maybe if he doesn't, Lara's able to turn, but again, I think often when Shaker is the one kind of getting jumped and gone on, it's gonna be a bad fight for him. You usually want to be the one that is like jumping enemy, chain stunning them, and you get to all the control in the world.
Look at the tower. I mean, this is very much Chimera trying to make sure that the game doesn't slow down and give sort of Spirit the chance to fail after that beginning. Want to stay aggressive. And on the money, it's definitely favoring Dahak, the richest in the game right now. 6k net worth on the Darkseer. And yeah, going back for the Halberd completion next.
I guess he just felt like Mech matters more for his team. I can see Mech is better the earlier you get in the game, and it's relatively cheap now. It's been buffed. Also, probably leaning in towards that. You know, we're gonna group up, fight the enemy. Even, I guess it gets shown by TA 2000 stronger for this mid tower. 10 minutes in the game. I think that's their whole mentality going into this draft. Is we gotta group up, we gotta fight. Basically, have to kick Team Spirit's ass, or it's gonna get hard for us.
I guess, yeah, if you're able to turn up to especially like the 15-minute fight with a mech and the enemy team doesn't have sort of that same bit of burst here that can be the difference maker in a 5v5.
I do think, so Team Spirit and Collapse recognize that. So Collapse is going for Pipe, which I like. I liked buying Pipe on Terrorblade a lot. I think a lot of the Terrorblades, this last time I saw Collapse, he went basically a full carry build. Didn't go for the Pipe. But I really like into this game because, again, if you have to survive this early game team fight from Chimera, buying a Pipe lets you actually do that. You can actually fight them now. I see the angles for Team Spirit to take it. They do have a good amount of damage between Sven and Shaker, and if they survive these initiations between like the Iron Shell damage and the Storm just getting negated by the Pipe, they can turn around the fight. Even the Tormentor fight might get decided by this Pipe. Smoking up.
Collapse has got to be careful. Unless he wants to try and bait in the Hark whilst this backup's on its way.
It's definitely baiting.
Dahak has got backup himself. He's pretty beefy, Dahak. And in fact, the jump's going to be happening first. Lal will go in with the Echo Slam. And Fisher follow up onto Dahak. It's enough to burst him. Ends up working out. Same time down bottom, Chimera. To get on top of Radahn. Got enough damage to do so. 1J TO 2000 giving it their best shot. It's enough. They find Maposhka as well in the trees. They can't. He's out with the TP, but they get the big kill, Chimera. Taking out Radahn.
That was a really important kill. Just finding this pen in the corner of the map. It's also good that they're making plays basically at the same time that Team Spirit is. So Team Spirit uses Echo, they kill top, and then they instantly are making a move on the opposite side of the map so that it's not this like 1-for-0 trade. They're always getting something else on the map.
GTP's coming in. Gonna try and fight it around Lal, but again, Chimera's
bad
not
for Chimera. Ooh.
Completely alone. Good jump out with the rebound to get Panto up to the high ground in a good position for the freezing field. They'll finally put a stop to it. Time has been bought for long enough to swing across to join the fight.
Low mana.
I can't fully commit for this. But the root here, another bounce to the side, but he's still rooted. So 1J's not able to get him out with the rebound. 1J goes for the TP out himself. Will make it before the dead shot flies past. But losing Lorinov there will give Spirit themselves a bit of a chance maybe to push back, take a tier 1. Start to set things up. potentially as the 15-minute comes up on the clock.
I think it's so cool. I don't know if it's intentional by Rue. I mean, maybe it is to give him credit, but the roots are really good versus Marcy. So he buys an Atos, and Lornov is probably playing there a bit because he's like, oh, if I get stunned by Earthshaker, I can get saved by my Marcy. He'll jump me out, pull me out of the fight. But again, the new Marcy facet doesn't work versus roots specifically. So Atos actually kind of counters that, and you see that 1J almost even dies trying to save his teammate. It's pretty interesting. I like stuff like this where maybe it's not fully intentional, because I think Atos is just a good item on Muerta, but it ends up just being also good in the game.
There's the setup. I mean, Chimera, they're straight towards the Tormentor. Meanwhile, Lal's focused on getting the kill mid. Will get it. Space for Chimera to go for this. Nobody wants to take him, so Tormentor for them. Shard going the way of the Crystal Maiden.
That's worth it for Chimera. You trade Crystal Maiden for a free Tormentor any day of the week. Even the Crystal Maiden gets Tormentor.
Yeah,
so
it's like, she gets something out of it as well, yeah.
Yeah.
Anto doesn't mind.
It's so funny. It's a net worth advantage for the Crystal Maiden to get jumped mid at the same time.
The pipe's now in line for Collapse. So when he turns up to team fight, a huge amount Chimera's damage output is going to be resisted. So it's definitely going to get tougher for Chimera to fight into Spirit.
Yeah, I think it's still okay for the next 5 minutes or so for Chimera if they're grouped up. I still think that even through the pipe, they have the damage and like the stuns and like the stick ability to stay in these fights. And it's not until maybe Radon gets one more item that he's really going to be a threat. Like when the Sven ults, okay guys, we got to get out, we got to kite him. Now it's just Laurel. Pretty much anything for Team Spirit. So as long as Chimera's either able to jump him first or kind of stay like not fully grouped up in a fight, then it's still really easy for them to win these fights. I think they should try to force something though. You don't want to give Team Spirit the space on the map because they'll just use it better than you. You can't really match their farming speed. So in a neutral game where it's 50-50 like this, you're going to just keep seeing Spirit get more and more of the lead.
Catch 1J here on the wave. Another way out for him. Easy kill for the two supports for Spirit to pick up. Collapse. Yeah, looking for the Orchid next. A good solid build up from him. The Terrorblade is going to be pretty annoying in the team fights for Chimera. Of course, far away from any sort of safety in terms of self-dispel or BKBs.
Yeah. I also want to say, I feel like TA2000's kind of had a rough game so far. He's 0-3-2. He's not really as farmed as we've seen a lot of the other tiny carries. And I think that's going to hurt them a bit, just due to the fact that I think he's supposed to be their one scaler, like their hope if the game goes kind of late. He needs to be farmed. I think Sven in a 1-to-1 matchup kind of beats Tiny. Because end of the day, they kind of end up being the same hero in the fights. They're going to stand there, stun you, and hit you until you die, and I just think that Sven wins that man fight. Unless Tiny gets items. I know... maybe it's different, actually, because of Brooch. Brooch changes these matchups. So Sven has really high armor. And so now that Tinies can buy a Revenant's Brooch and basically crit for magic damage, maybe the matchup's a bit Tiny favoring?
Oh. But he's going to be able to avoid this smoke. He jumps back close by. They get the vision down. And Law's in a good spot. Hard for Chimera to get the catch on him. Playing it safe, Law. Unlikely to get anything here, Chimera. Spirit. Not falling for this play. As the moments pass, Spirit is able to farm at the map that little bit easier. So the pressure that Chimera have put upon themselves to spend time looking for these kills that Spirit aren't letting them get.
Yep. I like the bait from Collapse. And the Chimera doesn't even take the bait. They know it's fake, and they're still kind of waiting there watching, hoping that they see something good, and thankfully they don't take it because it would have been terrible. But still, even just gold lead, it keeps going in Spirit's favor just because of the neutral game. Blornov doesn't walk in the smoke.
Smoked up themselves. Keeping back. Maybe they'll settle for Panto, but Panto's already out with the Glimmer. Gets seen by the Courier, but nobody's going to have a stun in range in time. So lucky this time. BKB now online for Radan. So with the BKB on the Sven, on top of the fact that they've got that pipe back up from Collapse, it's going to be very tough to fight if you're Chimera when it's in an area where Radan's able to turn up for Spirit.
Yeah, I think
he's massive.
It's about go time for Team Spirit. They don't. Thankfully for them, they don't have to force anything. They can play this slower kind of game. But if you ever get opportunities to fight in Dota, you take it. You never want to just fully AFK. And for Team Spirit, so that they see this opportunity, they're smoked up, and they're probably going to hit the Hog.
Amplified damage rune in the river. It's very tempting. Lars in with the Echo Slam onto the both of them. That jump forward from Lorenoff. He's getting caught by the silence. Lorenoff was able to pick up the amplified damage rune. Gonna turn, get the grab on towards Lal, but he hasn't got enough to finish him off through the pipe that gets popped by Collapse. They get the fear control onto TA2000. He's trying to scramble out of the team fight. He escaped this jump forward. The fish hitter try and block him off. TA2000 still on the retreat. They'll turn for Panto instead, Spirit. The space is given at least for TA2000 to survive. Chimera only end up losing the one support.
Okay, was that the Glacial Guard facet from Crystal Maiden? It actually might have saved TA2000. And could have been so much worse for Chimera. It's still not the best because, again, this is their timing. They're supposed to be winning these fights, kind of being the ones that are doing the aggression themselves, but still, even getting jumped like that, only losing Crystal Maiden, you have to take the wins where you can get them.
So he's TP'd into this. They've got the dust ready for him. But the TPs are coming in, but the damage from the impetuses will destroy him. Now, the road on towards TA2000. Pushback as well. They jump in with the rebound. Oh, that's a little awkward. Sometimes the rebound can go a little bit wrong. As TA2000 finds himself on the front lines there as 1J drags him in. That's the beauty of this ability, this faster being added, right? You can have some clutch players, but you can definitely have some players where you're like, oh, probably shouldn't have done that one.
I think stuff like that is a miscalculation or a misclick.
On this one, it's definitely a miscalculation, right? I think they're like, you know what, we can try and get in on top of these two support. Actually, I don't even know. Maybe that one was just a misclick, because do you really, like, what were you trying to take the Tiny in there for? I
mean, maybe they get the Earthshaker and they burst him?
Yeah, but the rebound didn't even land on him, right?
No.
The Shaker just gets the chance to land on them. Gotta be careful with these rebounds.
Great facet. Was Jenkins the one that wanted to add more funny facets?
He was, wasn't he? Yeah, I think we got it with this one. It's a fun one. It is a lot of fun.
I think stuff like this is, not only is it fun, but it's actually good for the game. And it's fun to play with. And even though there are mistakes you can do with it, I think it's just like a very good skill ceiling.
Exactly, it really is. Yeah,
I like all cast spells and like spells that have different kind of choices you make with it, because there's so many different options you can choose. You can choose to go in, go out, go in by yourself, you know.
That's the jump. Radan straight in with the unleashed stun. Lorenoff's never get the BKB off. In fact, he's looking to try and fight with the BKB. He goes straight over towards Mapochka, but the heals have been pumped out. Lorenoff turns towards Collapse. TA2000 has walked into the front of the fight. They have to surge him out of it. Dark will get TA2000 back to safety. All gets dropped down in an attempt to slow Team Spirit's advances. Nobody to die, but again, it is Team Spirit continuing to maintain control of the game. Increase their lead, push down mid now onto the tier 2.
I mean, I'm surprised no one died there for Chimera. That was, ooh. Wow, what do you do? I'm watching TA2000 in all these fights. I think he's just struggling to kind of...
He just has to run away.
Anything. Walks into a sentry. He gets rooted by the Morta, the Gleipnir now.
And then, can they do this?
Oh, this is big if they get this, actually.
They might get it. Team Spirit have fallen back pretty far. Split up as well. Chimera straight into the pit.
Yeah, they're going to get it.
Is there going to be a chance Spirit expect this at all, or you just don't think you're...
No, I think there's no way you think that Chimera would do this, especially after just the way the last few fights are going, that it feels so easy for Team Spirit to outmaneuver them.
I mean, they've scanned it out now, but it...
I wouldn't say I like their chances, but I see it. It's one of the games that I don't think it's the game state's favoring them, but it's definitely even for in the game you can see kind of the path to victory. Yep. Which, if it's a simple way to get the win, it's often gonna happen or can. You know, par for the course. Panto got it down again.
I mean, it was in the series yesterday, right? What was it, like the 10 deaths on Panto?
Yep, and they won.
And they won 10, I think it was 10 deaths as well on 1J. The support down was all part of the plan. The problem is this time around, it's been quite a few deaths on the course, right? Dahak has died 3 times, and TA2000, of course, has died 4 times already on the Tiny. 0, 4, and 2. Not a pretty scoreline for him so far in this first 24 minutes.
Yeah, I just feel like it's been hard for them to find any good moves on the map. I think they definitely missed something with how they rotate their heroes. Even around Laurel, I think Laurel's kind of had too free of a game. They killed him the once on the top rune, but I feel like you kind of have to keep forcing. I think if maybe they forced fights earlier with the Darkseer, it would have been better. Even if they're like trading, you know, 1 for 2 or 2 for 4, stuff like that, it would still favor Chimera for the fact that they're just forcing Spirit to fight rather than just farm. All right, Tormentor. Chimera might be just too late. They're not going to fight it. They're giving it up.
Spirit can take it super quick. Damage output they have right now.
All right, that was Chimera's, you know, big comeback gold. It could have been a 2K, 3K lead. Now it's a 9K lead.
Got to look towards what the next big items is going to be. BKB. 1J is trying to get. It's just about the recipe gold away from that. TA2000 will have his BKB. 100 gold coming out. Yeah, Dahak just continues trying to get these like auras online. Shiva's guards. What he's looking for next? That veil upgraded.
I think. So they have BKB on Tiny. They can actually maybe take a good fight. It just feels hard into Radon. They're gonna try to take one. It looks like.
And Panto's hovering around. Slide down to the low ground. Radon straight on top of him. Not going to be able to get away with that one, Panto.
That was a bit scary positioning. That was close. He has his BKB, so if he got jumped, maybe it's not instantaneous death. But it very well might be. We're going again, so this is another smoke. I'm sure it's kind of out. The argument for this fight is Sven has no God Train. So it's about to end. Maybe they get a jump and it's good.
Collapse.
He has the Thunder.
Now Radon to back him up. Can he get the Thunder off? He can't. Collapse will fall. Now the turn towards Radon. They managed to burst him pretty low. His BKB soon to be coming to an end. The Fisher out from Lyle. Not going to stop Laurenov as Laurenov's in with his own BKB. Closing the gap on Radon. They kill Radon on top of it. 2 massive kills there for Chimera to find. Spirit, they just couldn't turn that one.
Yeah, it was super close for Collapse getting his Thunder off, but just wasn't enough. Just got killed in the animation, and I think if they're able to start the fights with a Collapse kill, it's fightable. Just so scary to fight. You're fighting into a Pipe War, you're fighting into a potential Sunder on, like, let's say they focus Yatoro or Radon, and Collapse Thunders him when he's 100 health. Now Radon's going to kill everyone. So a lot of issues arise in the fights if you don't kill Collapse, and if you try to focus him and he Thunders you, you'll also lose the fight. It's like a very delicate kind of game that
Oh, lol. Straight in with the BKB, finds the opportunity to get the 2-man Echo Slam off. Rebound to try and drag TA2000 safety, but he'll fall. Panto also getting run down by Collapse. Lyle jumps across. We'll get the both of them. I mean, that was quick stuff there from Lyle. As soon as he sees 2 heroes next to each other, bam, BKB, Blink, Echo, immediately. Very fast reactions on the Shaker.
Especially because Radon is still dead. They're kind of looking. They shouldn't catch what they're looking. I mean, every time TA2000 dies, I just feel so bad for Chimera.
The difference in farm just does continue to increase between TA and Radon. Sven. Little steaming ahead, very close to having the Harpoon done. Top of this BKB Revenant's Brooch.
So yeah, so Sven also did go Revenants. I think this item is just going to end up being the carry item.
Just for the it's just so value.
Yeah, you get to, it effectively gives you mixed damage, so now you're doing physical and magical. And the old one, you basically did full magical, which I think is even worse than just doing mixed damage.
1J. Not going to be able to TP out of that.
Just because now it's like you have a chance to ignore all of Tiny's armor. Just on a crit, because it's also bonus damage, so it's not stopping the physical damage you're doing. It's just interesting. I don't know how to balance this item. To be honest, it feels like one of those things that will always kind of conceptually be broken if you can just do magical damage.
It's like it was put in just to see sort of how it feels, how the games go with it. I might get a bit of changing.
I just think every time this item's it's been in the game, there's been some crazy interaction with it. Either being bought every game, or there's the whole like rapier, Mars, and Booch.
Catches out poor old Panto again.
2 hits.
And continues to look very difficult for Chimera.
And also, shout out to Rue so far. He's 5-0-14. He's been in 19 of their 23 kills. I think he's played the game pretty much flawlessly. Just constantly always showing up his dead shot angles. Also super nice, just pushing Chimera back into him always. And I don't know, he's just he's everywhere. I feel like every time that they need something done, he's there. It's such a hard position for Chimera. So again, I don't think they're going to scale if they keep playing this slow game. It's just a question of at some point you have to farm just to get your timings. But if you keep having someone on your team going, oh, I need to farm this item, or we'll be really strong when I get this. If you have 5 people kind of doing that mentality, it sometimes gets hard to win because one guy gets his BKB and then another guy's getting jump mid. You know, now has to use his BKB, and then now, okay, guys, we have to wait 90 seconds.
I mean, they might try and chase him here.
He didn't TP.
He's got the toss. He's going to be all right. TP backup coming in as well for him around the outpost. I mean, they've got the BKB now in 1J.
Fight without T at 2000.
That's the thing, right? Yeah, Tiny's not in shape to fight. BKB's ready to press. Obviously on the other side.
They're going.
It's a risk, but maybe a risk they have to take. They're not bringing TH2000 with them.
Yeah, I mean, that's also a risk. Do you really want to fight down, one of your strongest heroes?
They're going to try. See what they can do with the 4 of them. Silence. Not towards him, they get the follow stun, but they're bring him out of the strike. Good dodge, gets him out of the way at the Echo Slam. A big save there from 1J. Panto still ends up falling though. 1J coming in clutch there to make sure that Lorinov doesn't get blown up in the Echo combo.
That's a win. Or, you know, the best they can get, honestly, besides getting a kill. That's all the BKBs also used for Team Spirit, so no BKB Shaker, no BKB Sven.
And they get the vacuum wall down onto the 2 of them. Mission Silence on towards Lorinov again, but once more 1J able to keep him at a safe distance. Laps is pushing on though. Damage to the tier 3 getting done by Spirit. We'll start to back off now.
I mean, it's funny because I feel like the wins for Chimera are just not losing the game.
They're holding on.
Yeah. I'm just trying to think of, so I just don't see where their scaling comes from. Okay, so Darkseer does scale versus Terrorblade, but it's not a Terrorblade carry. It's not like Collapse is really going full stats, full items. He has Pipe, doesn't matter if you take over him. Orchid also doesn't, so it's basically just only a Manta comparison for Terrorblade carry items. And the Sven Illusion isn't strong either, so Darkseer scaling is kind of over. It's mostly just the vacuum at this point, which maybe a 5-man vacuum's enough.
Maybe. And Dahak might just get it, you know.
Yeah.
We've seen some crazy plays from Dahak this tournament. Find that 5-man. 5-man into some rebound.
Maybe Avalanche, maybe Storm gets an Ags.
Yeah, eventually, you'd hope so. He's going to get, obviously, his Kite Stange finish first, but I could see him queuing up the Ags after that. Here we go, smoke time. This time round,
this time will be different.
Yep, they've got all the BKBs ready to press. TH2000 is back up. What they can get with this. On the other side, Spirit, Lyle has got his Octarine. So he is going to be popping the spells out like crazy. And as well.
Spirit knows exactly what the smoke is. They killed Enchantress's creep on the neutral camp. So Team Spirit pretty much fully knows. That's why they're kind of all sitting together, hugging a high ground, waiting for Chimera to walk in, and all right.
TH2000's going to go for the walk-in initiation. Gets the toss combo on towards Miposhka. They're going to try and focus the shake. Lyle, he gets chain stun. The stun up from Collapse though. Gives Lyle a chance to live, but now they've just kept those over towards Collapse. 1J beating into Lyle, but Lyle will survive. And it is in fact Chimera again. They're losing themselves. The 2 heroes One of them being their carry. Now Dahak's in trouble. The impetus is flying in. They'll get the disarm off onto the Enchantress. Lorinov trying to finish Lal, but Lal turns, finishes him. Chimera now lose Panto as well. I mean, it was a good effort, but Collapse with that Sunder, just giving Lal that chance to play the fight out, definitely threw an immediate spanner in the works for what Chimera wanted to do.
Again, that's the issue, right, of this Terrorblade. If you focus him first, then you have to burst him before Sunder. If you don't focus him, he's just going to Sunder his teammate. Ooh. Scary times for Chimera.
Yeah, very good counterplay with the fight there from Spirit. I mean, as you say, for that whole kind of 30 seconds up to it, right, they were anticipating this play.
Yep.
Knew it was coming. They were ready. Even with what was, in any other situation, indeed, without a Terrorblade in the game, that Shaker would have been dead. They kept him stunned completely at the beginning.
I just feel like we talked about kind of how Chimera's going through some internal struggles. I think this game is just a disconnect so far of how fast they have to play. I just don't think they played to the speed. Maybe it's probably because TA2000 had a bad game top, and just overall his impact has been a bit low comparatively. I think a lot of the time on his teams he's a very aggressive carry, even when he's playing like
They gotta let him walk into the pit. There we go.
So I just think TA2000's had a rough one, and maybe that's what's hurting Chimera, the group around him.
We'll see it again here. Extra bit of Roshan action a couple of times today. Yeah, teams, they gotta let him walk all the way in, otherwise he'll keep throwing you about until he's
Roshan
back
bug,
into his spot.
Quote GP, what was it, GPK?
What did he say?
Fix Roshan bug?
No, I think that was one of the supports on the team.
Okay.
I think it was the Enchantress player in that game.
Maposhka?
I think it was Maposhka, yeah, said fix Roshan.
No, not
bug.
Maposhka.
No.
Bepim. I'm
Save.
thinking. Save, yeah.
I think it was Save, yeah. He said fix Roche, please. But indeed, they just didn't let him get into the pit. All the way.
I like the throw.
Yeah, the throw's great, dude. The new Roche is great. I think that's one of the things that unanimously across the board people have said is they've liked it. He's back in the middle of the map, back in the river. Still has the top side and the bottom side now, so a bit of variance. And he's a bit more terrifying.
You can actually fight him now, like or fight Roshan. Team fights. I think last patch, I felt like a lot of the time people would avoid these Roshan fights.
It was just so far away.
And now it's way more realistic. Obviously, in this game, they didn't fight, but they're down 16k gold.
Look at this.
They're keeping.
Gonna go for a bit of the old rat here. 2000 and Panto. Panto, be careful. Oh. Okay, they're gonna BKB for this. I mean, if TH2000 gets out, you know what? That's the BKB used. It's just Panto dying. TH2000 should survive.
They still get the rack stop though, with Spirit. So they kind of got everything they want, plus a free crystal maiden kill. The Hawk, can he carry? He's so high net worth, but I don't think Darkseer carries these kinds of games from behind.
That's not easy. Feels like, I mean, what do you think he's going to go for next? Does he just go back for the blink so he can try and find these crazy vacuum wall combos?
Maybe. I think probably just an Ags to give him a little more stun, a little more damage. Ags is the carry choice.
Yeah.
I think because more, you know, you're doing it for a combo. You have a Jakiro or you have a Face's Voice, stuff like that. I just don't think his team really is giving him options.
I guess the good news is Lorinov's got quite a bit of money. So we can see like just a huge item fly out for him soon potentially. He's got 3,200 gold in the bank.
Yeah, maybe it's the Ags.
I feel like the Ags would be nice.
I just keep worrying about the actual damage. I think they could stun all of Team Spirit for what, 5-6 seconds, and no one might die.
Oh, and they're in. Spirit, they get the jump on the TF2000. He's able to get the BKB off. Starts to escape. The Hunt just gets destroyed. Look towards Lal. BKB from Lorinov. He's going to try and chase Team Spirit outside of the base, but they need more backup and more damage here on Chimera. And Lorinov, he's not going to get it. Has to retreat. Now they hit the stun. The connection's there. 1J tries to save him. Ends up running into his own death. And now they're without 2 cores. No buybacks from TH2000 or Dahak. So Spirit can push on, take a second set of racks and maybe more.
This might be mega. It might be game. Lorinov still has, you know, 3,600 gold. I don't see an item for him to buy, and
No TH2000, no Dahak. TH2000, 1,200 gold short. Dahak just about 200 gold short of buyback. The mega creeps are out. Spirit onto the tier 4s. Chimera, do they get the chance for one more fight?
I don't even know if they're going to fight.
He's trying to custom creep waves. But already one jet has spot the BKB early. He gets spooked by the Fisher.
Little Panto in there, 1J. He's at 12 jets, make 13.
Ancient's exposed. Dahak's going to be up in a few seconds. Lauranoff going to try and set them up for a chance to have one more fight out of this. Alar's in with the BKB. The fortification will come out. They'll get the connection on towards Panto. The Crystal Maiden, a full, but buyback's available on Panto. Buys back immediately. Lauranoff makes the jump over towards Lar. Lar's able to get out with the enchant turn. They get the wall drop down. Lar pops the echo. Doesn't connect onto anybody. But the stuns is there for collapse. Gets Lar back up to full HP. They've killed off Panto a second time. They're chasing Dahak back towards the fountain. The impetus is it's enough as Mapochka takes him down and the game is called GG. As Team Spirit will close.